Nation of Fitin10. It is day 11, and I have been poking and prodding some of you to send me your MyFitnessPal macro breakdown, or even better, well, I should say, and even better, send me both your macronutrient breakdown and your entries for your diary, so I can see what you're doing, and this can help me help you more, because I can see perhaps if there are inaccurate entries, or I should say maybe suspect entries, and I can explain more to you about that if it does so happen. Okay, of course I don't know, I don't always know for sure, but sometimes a diary can show me a couple things, or can show you a couple things that you might be making some errors on. Okay, your food intake is only as good, or at least getting those numbers is only as good as actually what you're doing, right? So we want to make sure that you are accurately accounting for what I'm giving you, right? Which is a bit of a learning curve, okay? Okay, 2 bars that I'm going to talk about. I already talked about one, actually, I think a couple days ago at least, or maybe it was more than that. My favorite bar, ISO bars. These are made locally here in Coquitlam. These are made with all real whole food. I have them in stock. I just ordered a bunch. If you want to try them, let me know, and I will give you one. Okay, there's 3 flavors here. This is yummy yogurt. This is my favorite one. There is a chocolate, and there is also an almond chocolate. They're high in protein, and again, they're made with all real whole food. Okay. And they've got a decent amount of protein, well, a decent to high amount. The chocolate almond have 27 grams of protein. So for some of you, that's like a quarter of your protein for the day. And decent amount of carbs and fat. So they're good all around whole food. The next one here is Quest. I may have mentioned about this, or somebody did talk about a bar that's similar to this that Costco sells. Quest Signature, no, Kirkland Signature bars or something like that. Another one that's very similar, tastes very similar, is Quest. Okay, Costco also sells these as well. The fiber in this, so these are a low carb bar. The fiber in this, which basically makes up all the carbs in it, is a really good prebiotic fiber. So it's very good for your gut, for the health of your gut. It's also very high in protein. These are not vegan friendly, because they both have whey protein, and whey is a milk byproduct. Okay, so just FYI on that. But if you want to try one of these, please let me know. Okay, they're really good. All right, let's get to some of your feedback. Right, you were supposed to send me your check-ins. I did get about maybe about 23, so I'm still missing a good chunk of feedback. So send me your feedback if you did not, right? It's in your email with your numbers, all right? So I will read your feedback, okay? I won't say who wrote it to me, but this person writes to me, name something specific you improve on for the following week. They wrote, hitting macro numbers better. I have consistently been under for carbs and struggling to hit carb numbers. Okay, so this really should be, well, maybe it's not fair for me to say this, but it really should be the easiest one, because carbs are so abundant. And listen, if you just get in enough starch and fruit, you're going to have no problem doing this. Okay, a potato about yay big, okay, about 8 ounces contains, close to 50 grams of carbohydrates. Same with a yam, about that size. A cup of rice, well, I would rather that you weigh it out. But let's just say, 8 ounces of white rice, that's going to be almost 70 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, so, an average banana's got about, 23 to 25 grams of carbohydrates. It's really not hard to get these in. Just look at your list in your book, okay? Go to that listing of foods, and that will point you in the right direction. If it doesn't give you exactly what you want there, it will at least give you some direction, right? Because you're obviously going to see a list of fruits. You're going to be like, well, maybe I can have another fruit that's not listed here. The same with different starches. You're going to see a list of, I think there's a bread or two that's mentioned in there. Obviously, there's your tubers, right? Your yams, your potatoes, There's things like you can have whole wheat pasta. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, heck, you could have, I guess, regular pasta. That would be okay. But of course, we want to try to have those foods that have minimal processing, right? So we want to have the foods. We'll get into why processing is bad, but I'm kind of just touching upon it. We basically want to have those foods that don't have the nutrients stripped of them, right? Hence why we would go with like more of a whole wheat pasta or something. Okay. All right, how am I doing for time? I'm doing good. So let's go to the next person here. Working on balancing macros, but tracking everything I eat. Name something specific you need help with. Energy. 3:30 a.m. workout is challenging. I bet. Well, kudos to you. So here you go, one of your fellow teammates here is beginning his workout at 3:30 a.m. Okay, where there's a will, there's a way, and this is a perfect example right here. Is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? Nope. Love the message of the day. Thanks, Coach. Okay, you are welcome. Entry number 19. Name something specific Name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. To document specific max reps when I lift weights to keep track of the progress and keep pushing myself. Yes, for those of you who are doing the in the gym classes, take note of the weights you're using and of course the reps you're getting with those weights, okay? This is so important. If you try to remember everything in your mind, you just can't, okay? You will not be successful. I've tried to do it myself. Doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work. Name something specific you need help with. Make sure that when I am in lift class, I am executing the exercise properly and evenly so that the weight is evenly distributed, thus preventing a muscle from getting injured. Okay. And this person here, I'm just going to say, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I'm sure you don't. This person here, just recently had a hip replacement. She's in the gym and she's already getting some movement, right? Which is going to be, good for that, for the recovery. But again, right? No excuses. Obviously within reason. We're not obviously loading her with heavy weight. That would be silly. But getting her to do some movement with some level of resistance to start to get that joint working back to its original capacity, right? So, okay, is there anything you would like me to cover in this week's video series? How to put recipes in MyFitnessPal and then get a serving breakdown in macros. Okay, I'm not prepared for that right now. So, additional comments. First week in and I feel good, tired, and strong. Okay, very good. Yeah, in terms of putting recipes into MyFitnessPal, that's not typically what I do. I'll tell you what I do is I will make a recipe. I'll make a recipe. I will put all the ingredients in. Okay, so I'll take a total of all the ingredients, so total of all the carbohydrates that were put in, total of proteins, total of fats. So there's all the ingredients that go in, and then I will, cook it. So for example, I've made a meatloaf before, and then I will just evenly subdivide it. Okay, and then, if I do 5 servings or 6 servings, then I will enter in a serving into MyFitnessPal. So I'll just go in and enter, a food item, a custom food item, and I'll put in those macros. And that's how I do it. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could get MyFitnessPal to do the math for you. And you can enter it all into MyFitnessPal. I know that there's a way of doing this. I just don't typically do it that way, okay? Okay, let's get to the message of the day. What is the message of the day? Oh, I don't even have the message of the day sheet open, so let's open it up here. All right. Message of the day. You get back exactly what you put in. You get back exactly what you put in. And this is really true. If you get those numbers and you do your workouts, you're going to do really, really, really well. You will get back exactly what you put in. Now, I understand that there are some, some hardships for some people. Maybe they're away from the house or whatever. But away from the house or not, you have to, well, definitely if you're away from the house, you have got to plan and prepare, pre-think your food. And as I said yesterday, where there is a will, there is a way. You just have to pre-make your food and then take it with you. That's all you have to do, okay? And believe me, if I can do it, for sure you can do it, okay? Seriously. It's really, it might seem daunting because you haven't done it before, but just sit down. And as I said, for those of you who have yet to plan, or you're not sure what to eat, take all the foods you like to eat, okay, take all the real whole foods that you like to eat, and then start to see what they contain, and then start to put them, mix and match. Okay, make meals from this. All right, try to get protein strong food, carbohydrate strong food, and if you need to add a fat, you can do that. I would probably do that towards the end of the day, or just look at as your meals go on, because sometimes you just get fat. It's like collateral that just comes along with your carbohydrate or protein strong food. Okay, so I realize I'm not giving you specifics here, but it's very hard for me to do that because I don't know what you like. But at least start looking into this. Once you start to realize what foods once you take the foods that you like and you look at all the listings of foods that contain the macronutrient densities, right? The protein strong, the fat strong, the carbohydrate strong, and you start to put these together, you'll realize it's really not that hard. A perfect example was, and I'll post it, it's just a picture, I guess. I don't really know if it's gonna be helpful to you. But perfect example was, taking a meal like, a steak and rice, with some sauerkraut. I had this yesterday. I used this as an example yesterday. If I want to increase the carbohydrates, I just add some rice. If I want to remove some, I just remove some rice. If I want to increase protein, I just add some more steak in, and vice versa. And then there's some fat that comes along with the steak. Okay, so very, very basic example there. Okay, also powders and bars will be very helpful. There's no prep with these. You just have to plug them in, okay? Make them work in with your numbers. Okay, 12.5 minutes, terrible of me. You get back exactly what you put in, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself for the love of God, give some gratitude. Make sure you help yourself, okay? Take the bull by the horns and try your best. Try your best every day and you will do better, okay? Take initiative and make it happen, okay? I'll talk to you guys all very soon. See you guys.